Hi guys, thanks for checking out this video. Hope you have gained the basic concept about DBMS and RDBMS and also installed MySQL on your PC. If in case you have not or want to revisit on the concept, you can get the link of those videos in the description below. So let's start today's lesson by opening Workbench. So once you have installed MySQL Workbench, you can go ahead and open that Workbench. So I'll open this. Okay, so once the Workbench is open, you need to connect to the server. So let me connect to the server. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is show the databases. So we will type show database. So you can see these are the databases as of now. So all you need to do is you can select, after writing show databases, you can highlight in this line and then click on this particular execution tab, or you can, after the semicolon, just press Ctrl and enter, and you'll be able to view the output over here. So these are the existing databases in MySQL Workbench. So in order to practice with this lesson, we need to create our database. So let me take an example and let me show you with the concept of a shop. So let me create a database. For creating a database, all you need to do is to write create database and the name of the database, and then you can go ahead and execute this line. So you can see the database has got created. So you can refresh it over here and you can see, you'll be able to see shop database. So now how to use this database? So you can type use shop over here and execute this. So you can see this shop database is now darkened up. It's highlighted. So now we are going to use shop database that we just created, and we need to create 3 tables so that we can create a product, customer and orders table. So let's first create the product table and then let me show you how. I'll explain about this code in a minute. And let me write product, maybe origin would be good. So this is the syntax for creating a table. Create table and then the name of the table, and a table always ends with a semicolon. So we open a bracket, we wrote the name of the table as products, we open a bracket, and then the first column name is going to be an ID column, and this is going to be the primary key. So it's going to be an ID, and that's going to be a number. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. with a new entry in the table every time. And so we have used integer data type over here. And because it's a primary key and we want it to be unique, we are going to type auto increment, which I have done it over here. This means that when we insert data into our table, it's going to auto increment this ID column. And then because this is the primary key column, we have to write it over here. And that's how we define primary key in the table. We just type primary key after the data type and then end with a comma. So the second column that we have in our table is the product, name of the product. And this is going to be of a data type varchar, and we need to define the maximum length. And so I marked it as 30. Now this is going to take up any string value up to 30 characters long. And then we have the price column. Keep it as it's not going to be more than $1,000. Okay, so $1,000 in sense it's not going to be more than 999. So I have used this 999 is taking 3 positions, so I have used 3 over here, and it can take up to 2 units after the decimal as well. So this is how it's going to be written. Now I have also used one column which says product origin. Not mandatory, but I've just used it. It's again of a varchar and 30 characters long. It will take any value up to 30 characters. So we can just go ahead, select this, click on run. You can see showing as running over here. Now if you refresh this, you can see the table is created of products. So after creating this product table, we will be creating customers table. Now for that, what we have to do, we have to write create table customers. We'll give a customer ID, we'll give it as ID int, again auto increment, and we'll make it as primary key. The concept remains same. It's a customer ID and it has auto increment, which means that on every new entry it will automatically increment, and this is going to be the primary key. Now first name of the customer, and this is going to be a varchar of 30 in size. Then the last name, this is again going to be a varchar of 30 in size. Then let's take gender. I'm giving it as data type as enum. It will either be male or female, and the last one is phone number. Now, why I have given phone number as a varchar data type? The reason is that though it is a number, we are not going to use this number in any kind of calculation, in any kind of computation. So We are just taking this phone number for the record purpose, and for that we are using varchar. But if in case you have to take any value for any other column which you are going to use for a computation purpose, for calculation purpose, then you have to use the data type accordingly. Okay, we'll close this section. We will okay, so now we will run this. So now if you refresh, you can see the customer table is created. Okay. Now finally we need to create orders table. So let me write that: create table orders ID int auto increment, and this is going to be a primary key. Again, the ID auto increment means that the ID will keep incrementing as it gets the new value. Next is product ID, and this is going to be int. Next is, we'll keep it as customer ID. We'll keep it as customer ID. Okay, here we'll keep it as customer ID, and this is again going to be integer. Then let's take the order time. Yep. And this is going to be a date time data type. Now, important thing. The important thing is that we have to link product ID and customer ID with the two tables that we have created earlier. Now for that we have to type foreign key in bracket, we have to write product score ID, and then we have to write this keyword which is references and where it references. First, the name of the table. So product ID will reference to this ID over here. So reference of, and what was the name of the table there? Product. So references product, and which column in the product? So it will be ID. Similarly, we have to write foreign key, and what is the name we have given it here? Customer ID. And it references where? It references customers table. And we are referencing to and foreign key customer ID, and with this references to customers and the ID in that. Then we will close it and we will execute this. Okay, so this is products. Okay, now let's create this orders table. Okay, so now if you refresh it over here, you can see we have created products table. So in this way you create tables, and that's how we set up the database. So if we go ahead and type show databases again, we are going to see we have our database that we created here. So we have learned how to create tables in a database, and we have finished creating our shop database here. So let's move on to the next video where we will see how to modify table, that is how to add or remove columns of a table. Stay tuned and we will connect back in our next session. Thank you.